Welcome back to the zombie apocalypse. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. As you can see, I packed up the sleeping bag. We're gonna go on an adventure, and we're gonna leave a whole bunch of stuff behind because carrying space is limited. I turned the stone blade we had into a stone knife, so that's one thing we're carrying. Everything else is kind of left in here. I'm gonna keep the sack. Alice belt, the lighter, couple medical stuffs, any non-perishable food, our water cans, seeds that are worth seeding, couple racks, the light, one sharp flint flake. We can find them fairly easily, but I felt keeping at least one on me, so in a pinch I don't have to go around find it. Screwdriver wrench, and this hurricane lantern we find. I feel like that's too valuable to leave behind, so we're gonna go slightly encumbered. Now I'm gonna keep the drink cans in the backpack so that we're not automatically drinking from those. As long as we're near the river, I'm gonna be manually drinking from the river. I'm not 100% sure yet which way I want to go. Even though it might be a little... I feel like, even though it's a little bit of a repeat of the previous path we took on our last character on the escape from Louisville, I kind of think it makes sense to take the same road, then follow down the railroad tracks until we get to the power lines, and then follow the power lines inland. Until we're kind of past McCoy estate, and there should be there's some lakes there. That would be the next source of water that we can go for. The alternative would be to just stay along the river and just, you know, walk past West Point. But then we're gonna end up in that weird terrain between West Point and Taylorsville. I'm not sure I'm fully liking that idea. Now, in the previous run, we started a fair bit further north, right? On our I think it was the 4th day, maybe the 3rd. Started pretty much where this characters where we started on day 1, and made it then all the way to the power lines. So keeping in mind though that I also did a whole bunch of running, and we're just gonna do walking here. We'll figure it out. Question is then just, do I stick to the road, which, you know, feels safe? But then the bridge here that's coming up is going to be our last chance to take a sip of water. Or alternatively, we could just follow the river south and then keep heading south until we get to the power lines. And this way we stay near the river for longer, and I think that's what we're going to do. I think it's been a long while since making your mind up about where you get drinking water from was of any concern in PC for me. It's usually not a consideration. Oh, munching zombies. think he has a knife in his leg, maybe a hunting knife? Also, the thought on whether or not I should... That's a fillet knife. No, I think we keep the stone knife. It's fine. And I guess this is as far south as it goes. The river's going east here. Alright, so this is it. Our last drink of fresh, clean river water. Smash out these acorns. Just head south through the trees here. Too full to eat. Alright. I think I'm just gonna risk it here. Like, vision is limited, but I also don't want to just slow walk it. Trust the walk to tool to dodge all the trees. Hopefully it's not a super dense forest. So we can kind of see what we're heading into. And yeah, I was debating whether or not I want to be foraging at the same time, but I think it's gonna make it slower. So we're just gonna have to rely on what we have in our bags. And we're already at the power lines. Wonderful. It's already also 1 p.m. The rest of the acorns, as long as they're still fresh. So anything that is labeled fresh will eventually go stale, and then it's kind of worthless to me, so might as well, even though lemongrass would be nice, you know, in case we get any sort of sickness to counteract that, but I think I'd rather have it just for the hunger reduction, and now it's no longer taking up space in my inventory. And walking along the power lines. Feel like we've done that a lot lately. It's such a good landmark. So I thought we would be, yeah. Thought we would have hit the railroad tracks way sooner. Okay, this time around though, we're not gonna head south towards the gas station and the Four Corners. We're gonna stay along the power lines here. Always unsettling when there's like these pools of blood somewhere along the path. You're like, what happened here? What is the world trying to tell me? Oh. I'll just dodge these guys again. We're on the clock. We need to make it to a new water source. Well, not necessarily by the end of today, but at the latest by the end of tomorrow. Probably sooner than that. The thirsty moodle starts showing up. I mean, that car with the beer cans, that was really nice, though. That kind of enabled this whole thing. We would not be able to do, well, we would be able to do that, but I wouldn't be comfortable being this far away from any freshwater source. There's somebody munching. We got time for that. You never know what that might be carrying. Really of value. Having a quick look, maybe there's something in the woods, like a camping site or something like that, but doesn't look like we should be that lucky. At some point, this should be heading a little bit more southwestish. It's like this was a popular travel path, judging by all the corpses along the lines here. I think if we get the second thirsty moodle, then I'm gonna start bringing out the water cans. Oh, one thing I could have done, I just realized, is I could have, of course, boiled the water in the beer cans and then fill the clean water into the beer bottle. And this way I could have used the bottle also as an additional container. Here we go. Now it's heading a little bit more southwest. And that's the road. I think we're gonna keep following the lines here. Little snack of our slips and thistles. South of us here in the trees, there should be the lake, actually. This is, at the end of the day, much shorter way than I thought it would be. These are basically the lakes around the McCoy estate, which is like a big building. We've been there in the past. Which is kind of a little bit of an overpowered base place that has all the different crafting stations that are new with Build 42. I kind of still assume that it's more of a testing ground, but I don't know. Maybe it's gonna stay this way for the full release of 42. I always thought this was more like a testing place so people can play around with the new crafting skills without having to go through all the hassle. Now, the estate itself usually has a whole bunch of zombies, so don't want to go anywhere near there. But this could be a nice place to stay for the night. No, I think I'll take this. Don't think we're gonna need a campfire this time around. I will, however, as long as we still have a little bit of daylight, do some foraging in this area. See. And we could also set filters, see if we can find any berries. Any sort of food. That. Keep eating berries. Just like that, we're already drowsy. Don't want to go to bed too early because we're wakeful, and then, you know, we're gonna wake up at like 3 a.m. That's a little bit early. So let's see if we can get some more foraging done. Yeah, I know those are berries, but could I specify berries, non-poisonous? Alright, I'm gonna see how much more I can find here, and then I'll see you bright and early. Well, early it is indeed. Barely 4 a.m. and we are awake again. Kind of a little bit the downside of being wakeful. Like in a normal playthrough, I always use that time to just then, you know, you spend time indoors in your base and read books a little bit longer. And I feel like then wakeful makes up for being a slow reader, because you're just gonna have more time to read. Let's have a quick look at the map. No, maybe not. So I was thinking, in our previous run, we had a little nap, a little sleep in some farmhand barracks nearby. That had a bit of a parking lot behind it. Not, you know, I'm still holding out hope that we might be able to get a vehicle, and then the world's our oyster. We haven't touched our purified water cans, so we have some flexibility, and we can kind of come back to that space here at the lakes. That seems reasonably safe. So let's do a little bit of an expedition here. I know that somewhere in this area there's also a farmhouse with a well. So that would also give us an option to stay outdoors with fresh water, away actually from river. And well water you can use to refill any water bottles. Like that is actually clean, good water. Just need to remember how far away that farm field is. Yeah, I think we're just gonna cross the woods here. Okay, that's the farm field. Wow. Bingo. Bingo-ish. One car and one animal trailer. And a whole bunch of zombies. Alright. Let me take a look at this car. Looks, for some reason, very much dented in the back, but it that shouldn't be a complete wreck. This doesn't look great. Not seeing a key anywhere on the ground, but with so many zombies nearby, there's a chance that one of them might have a key. Trying to get a look here if there's more than these zombies around, but I'm not seeing anyone else, which is good. A little bit of fence cheese, not too much. Okay. Export cards are still dropping. But I turned you off for haunting me. That was dinner. Where you going, little rabbits? Where are you going? Is this actually a wreck? Maybe? There's no like indicator for getting into the vehicle. Never seen like a wreck perfectly parked. Hey, yeah, no. Wrecked masses in the horizon. What? That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. Why is it in such a good condition? I think it even might have had fuel. Why me? Alright, I guess for now, I'm kind of stuck here. Might as well Let's south a little bit. There's no. You're gonna run away. Yeah, you're gonna run away. Okay, let's stick to the road here. There's at least a chance to have some more vehicles appear on and around the roads. Now, I might actually, as I mentioned earlier, there's a farm estate here with a well. See if we can get into that. Because that could be our base for a while, if we can actually make it to that well. The question is, yes, how many zombies are we gonna have to fight to get there? Now that is a survivor group, if I've ever seen one. And survivor zombie has a freaking fire axe, okay. You want us off a little bit, you know? Just a bit to the south. Maybe we can pull him on his own. I mean, he's not going to go away. We can come back when we are less encumbered and in a better condition to fight. Trying to remember where we are here. I think I might be one road too far east. Oh, no, this is right. This is the right place. This is the entrance to the Angler magazine. Okay. Teaches us how to make a fishing net and how to dismantle fishing nets. Not necessarily the most important magazine, but still need to get used to being organized and then actually putting stuff back to where you got it from. Alright. This could be the big catch. Farming estate with a well. The question is how many former farmers are going to be in this area. Look a little bit around. I mean, there's a bunch of zombies up there. Get some cows here. Chickens. Cool little chicken hutch. So, this field up here, on the south side of it, that's where the well is. So I'm getting a little bit stressed out, understandably. Two down, two to go. who's coming for her. You know, if we're gonna stay in that area, might as well keep that out. Okay, I see 4 more zombies in the field there. Another 4 down there. Couple up at that field. Just outside of my vision is where the well is. You know, of all the things we've fought zombies for so far, I think this is the one thing worth fighting for here. And, you know, with the well actually in stone throws range, make sure we're not thirsty. Let's see if we can actually eat something to not be hungry. I'm gonna drop the sleeping bag here, reduce our weight a little bit. Dive away. Okay, not encumbered. Not thirsty. Little packish. Let's do this. Fighting for our well-being. I guess the one downside of this place is we're not going to be able to do much fishing out of a well. That was strength. That I just saw strength go on. And long blunt. That's a bull. He's probably stressed because of all the zombies. I'm gonna go give him a little bit of a wide berth for now. Bunch of chickens over here. 2 fields with cows. That might even solve most of our food problems. Well, if we find a bucket to milk the cows. Or, you know, any sort of container. That's a lot of zombies there. Did somebody say there were 4? That looks like more than 4. Yeah, you know, the trick early game, and especially with a weak character. Patience. Divide the groups up to small chunks. You know, I think we're gonna go through all the corpses here eventually. I'm not gonna do that now. Get all the rags, get all the electrical items, anything that contains any metal. Biggest concerns is really the weapon condition. Once that baseball bat is gone, we're gonna be a little bit of a struggle for weapons. Okay. There's another huge group there. Alright. And apparently I angered zombie who was just peacefully sitting there minding his own business. Unlimited clean drinking water. Wonderful. Oh, we're getting muscle strain. Right. So downside of this location is a little bit lack of trees, right? But in terms of foraging in fields, you can find a lot of vegetables and stuff. If we want to set up camp here, put our sleeping bag right next to the well, put up a little campfire, then we probably need to clean out any zombie we see in a radius, like anything between here and the farmhouse, anything between here and the road that's somewhere up there. Definitely those zombies up there north. I'm gonna eat the rest of my reserves here. And I'm hoping, even though I haven't checked, that there might be some eggs in that chicken hutch. Don't see any zombies down here on the fields. Take out these guys near that trailer. So tempted to like, oh, you can just start looting. No. You said 100 days. Gotta stay at 100 days. This little hut full of goodies right in front of our nose the whole time. Yeah, we've got some work here in terms of clearing out zombies. I think it's gonna be worth it. Clear out this area, then we can settle down for a week or two. We gotta reevaluate it after the helicopter comes. There's too much aggro. It's maybe pulling a little bit too much. I think I might need to enlist the help of the friendly neighborhood fence. mean, sure, we're gonna have a key for this place here. There's nothing worse than waiting for a zombie behind the fence. It's like, come on, move a little bit faster. You know, so you know how zombies move a little bit faster as they get close to you, right? When they stretch out their arms and come for you. That effect doesn't trigger if there's a fence between you and the zombie. We got a key for this. We got a key for this, probably. This counts as forest here, this area. Yes, I'm stomping. Alright, take a quick rest and clean out the zombies there near the barn. Ah, it's even little chicks. Looks like they have plenty of food here. If they can use that. Okay. Well fed, not thirsty, calm. Got some eggs. Bye-bye. Oh, look at that. All the amenities here. Even got an outhouse. Luxury living. There were a couple zombies behind here. Web condition on this baseball bat is very concerning. That's the reason why it's starting to stomp a little bit. Also, since we have muscle strain. So with the muscle strain in the arms, okay, there's the road already. Okay, clear up to the road. So yeah, with the muscle strain in the arms, that means our arm attacks do less damage, so we would take more hits to kill a zombie with the baseball bat. So that's not an efficient use then of the durability that we have. At least that's what I'm gonna tell me to justify me actually stomping, even though I always say stomping bad. Alright. Just like 96 more days and then we can loot this thing. Looks a little bit as if this bull killed all of these guys. He's actually calm. Okay. So we'll start developing a relationship with these guys, yeah? So, we saw a bunch of zombies near that main farmhouse, and a bunch of zombies, I think, were like behind this barn in the fields. So let's take care of these guys first. I should probably not drag them here over where the cows are, so I don't stress them out too much. Zombies in the far end of the fields. Okay. Seems not too terrible. Interestingly, okay. An urban area near the feeders. More here. Yeah, beating trough true tip away from me. Really annoying. Jacket is way past its prime. Okay. Oh, this is looking clean. This is looking very clean. Oh, look at that, another beer can. The things you find in the farm fields, eh? We could actually change this to crops. Wanna try to find some food here. I also wanted, there were some zombies up here somewhere, right here, over there. But yeah, I think we're gonna grab our sleeping bag and put it right next to the well. Cabbage. 8 cabbage seeds. Way too long. No, I don't think we have any pen to write something on the map yet. Let's might as well pick up that pencil. Alright, another cabbage. Couple tree branches and make our way over. So I want to set up the sleeping bag and everything and probably unload some stuff. Also aware that there's still a bunch of zombies near that main farmhouse there, and I kind of want to clear out as many of those as possible tonight. I think in that case we're gonna leave the foraging for later. Alright, I wanna get that stuff over there and then we'll tackle the last couple zombies. Well, I'm sitting here, resting, and this guy just showed up, drowsy. So maybe we'll just tell ourselves that clearly those zombies down there are far enough away that we can safely sleep here. Search with the tree branch. I'm curious. Went way too fast. Alright, so I think we do a little bit of organizing. Is this rock gonna be a surface for me? Yes. Counts as a crafting surface. Oh, that's good. Already back up to our tool status here, having an axe. See a couple stones down there so we can make a little campfire. Stone. Let's grab ourselves a log. Drop it here. Gotta get that axe again so we can actually chop some firewood. We can cook ourselves some eggs. firewood in here. Use the splinters and our... I thought we still had matches. Okay, so we just have that lighter. I think that is, like, it's 5 uses. You know, your typical lighter. You can light something 5 times and then it's used up. I don't think there's anything else I wanna cook right now, so let's preserve the firewood. Well, you know what? When we set out, leaving our little riverside camp spot behind, I did not think that just 2 days later I'll be dining on cooked eggs. No, actually, don't wear that. I'm going to place it. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of put stuff here on the ground. Maybe use the belt and suspenders for all the seeds for now. Just that we have a little bit of order here and not just everything randomly on the ground. And since we don't need to cook anything, I'm just gonna keep the empty cans in the campfire. This way they're not gonna collect rainwater and become tainted again. Like until we get some storage containers, which is gonna be a little bit tricky, but we can do that. This is kind of the stuff we have to do. Now, we would need a saw to disassemble that, and I don't think these kind of walls give nails. Like, nails is gonna be one big factor for anything we want to build ourselves. All right, but for now, yeah, we made it to a well. Again, no fish in here, so, but I hope that the chickens and eventually the cows are gonna keep us from starving, and we can definitely forage in the fields. There's a decent chance of... What, crops are extremely rare in the farmland? Strange. Anyway, we're gonna put a cut in here. I'll do probably some more foraging before I tuck myself into bed. And in the morning, we'll explore our surroundings, clean out the remaining zombies, and set up a little bit of a short-term base here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.